Hey everybody, it's Dustin. I want to talk about Cyberpunk, not what everyone else is talking about, because the game's been out for a little over a week now, and everyone's opinion of it is that it's a great game underneath all the bugs and the problems, and that maybe they shouldn't have released it when they did. Maybe they should have held off on the console launch. There's a lot of deception that was going on and a bunch of mess, right? So that's not exactly what I want to talk about, because today in my stream, a good friend of mine, Lord High Fixer, brought up that possibly this game should have been an early access game, and that it probably would have done better had it been an early access game, been maybe $10 cheaper, without all of the bugs being such a big deal, because you really expect something to be, incomplete, maybe semi-broken, which is kind of where the state of the game is currently. And I wondered, how would that have gone over? You've got a whole bunch of people that have pre-ordered the game, are waiting for a full release, have been told that this game is amazing. I think there'd be a subsection of people that would be pretty pissed that it's going to early access and would for sure cancel their pre-orders, right? But I believe that kind of the majority of people would appreciate CD Projekt Red being honest with us instead of lying and letting us believe that we had a really amazing game coming our way, when really we had a buggy, broken, semi-mediocre in spots game that was delivered. Now, for me, I'm maybe a little bit easier on games. I'm really enjoying what I have been playing, but I also am playing with a better processor, a better video card on a PC. I'm not trying to play this on a base console like a PS4 or an Xbox One, or even a PS5 or an Xbox Series X. So my opinion of the game is a little bit tainted from people that have had a far, far inferior experience with this game. But it got me thinking when Fixer brought that up, is how would this game have gone by? How would critics review the game? How would you wouldn't have lawsuits coming from investors about being deceptive practices. You wouldn't have so many people wanting to return the game because they could have made an educated decision prior to its release on the state of the game, knowing that it's in early access. Them CD Projekt Red coming out and giving us an honest assessment of where this game is. They could come out and say, hey, we know you really want to play this game, and we really want you to play this game. The problem is that it is a very, very advanced game that we have in our mind, and we need to work on it still, and we would like to get it in your hands and see how you feel with it in its current state. So we are changing this from a full release to an early access release, and we're lowering the cost. We understand if you want to cancel your pre-order, but if not, and you want to stick with us and help us guide the direction of this game, feel free to play it in its current state for, say, $49.99, right? Instead of what they did do, which was release a game that barely ran on a PlayStation 4 with like 15 to 10 frames in spots. Xbox One is even worse, and on PC has crashes galore and very large glitch problems. Because I think the biggest problem here with Cyberpunk, the biggest problem is that CD Projekt Red went back on all that trust that we had for them, right? Everyone thought, man, CD Projekt Red really treats consumers right. They've been telling us it's going to be out when it's ready. They've been telling us this and that and the other thing. They told us that it ran great on the current gen consoles when it didn't. They let us down, is what happened. And I think if they had been honest with us, told us that the game needs a lot more work, and they would not want to delay it any further because they know the excitement and the fervor for us that have, we really want to play this game, that would be tarnished. But it's not ready. Play it if you want to in its current state and grow with us, or instead they've kind of forced us to grow with them. We paid full price. In a lot of cases in the beginning there, you couldn't get your refund because of the refund policies. That's all been walked back. So that at least is going well with PlayStation and Xbox returns. But man, things could not have gone worse for them by being so dishonest and releasing such a broken product. And you can see that from their stock prices have dropped. I think they've lost somebody said they lost like $1 billion in stock because of what has happened with this game. And, in early access, imagine that. Imagine paying for early access for this game and playing it in its current state and then being able to put up, posts on their forums to say, hey, I'd really like to see this in the game, and have them have regular updates that were more paced. With early access type updates, it's not so rushed where everybody's freaking out at CD Projekt Red for the developer side of things, to get things fixed because, oh my God, people paid full price for this and they're really, really pissed. Instead, everyone understands an update's going to come, and that update's going to add these features. It's going to fix problems here and there. I mean, a really great example of an amazing game that just ended its early access is Hades. Now, I bought into Hades in the beginning when it first released on the Epic Game Store because it was really affordable and it sounded like a fun game. So, why not spend $20 and play some Hades? And it didn't have as many features. I think it only had like 2 weapons at the time. And that game grew and grew over I think it was in early access for a year and a half, something like that. And it became an award-winning, award-nominated game to where it's at now. And I don't think anybody ever was like, oh my God, they released this game in such a broken state. No, it's such crap. And, all the things that people are saying about Cyberpunk and CD Projekt Red being deceptive. None of that stuff was said about Supergiant and their is it Supergiant? Am I thinking that right? God, I'm so bad with names. Like, nobody thought that about the Hades development, and it's really, from a fan of The Witcher and CD Projekt Red in general, it's just really sad to see what has happened from their own doing. And it's not like something where I go, oh well, that's sad that's happening to them. It's like, no, they did this to themselves. And it could have all been avoided with something as simple as early access. Now, we can't go backwards now. That you kind of you can't really unbreak that window. You kind of have to piece it back together and make it work. So I know that they will fix the game, and I am enjoying it. Like I said, I am enjoying it now in its current state with what I'm playing. But I'm also playing on probably the preferred system to be playing it on, which is PC. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on there? I just want to kind of throw that out there as a what if kind of scenario. I know that we can't go backwards, but what that's an interesting conversation to kind of have, and I'd like to hear some of your comments down below. Let me know what you think. What would have been the ideal situation for CD Projekt Red? Do you think they should have just delayed it another year, maybe a year and a half, or when it's done as they originally had claimed? Do you think that they could have done well with the early access release, as some games have, like Hades? Just let me know in the comments down below. I'd like to get into that conversation, and I always watch my comments and try to reply to everybody. So if you have a question or you have some kind of fun statement on there, as long as you're being part of the positive conversation, I'll be there with you. Thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you like this content. Let me know. Like would be appreciated. Subscription, if always that's always appreciated as well. And I will see you in the next video.